We say what they can't radio.
Black, stop playing with it.
Welcome back, guys. This is the No Mistakes podcast, where in life, there's no mistakes, just life lessons. And between us, we got a lot of them. I am your host, Let JBJ.
I'm Shakir B.
And today, we have a special guest.
We got in here today, bro.
Yeah, we got a special guest, my beautiful cousin, Myrna, who is a lifestyle blogger. She is a nurse. She is a well-traveled free spirit who's here today to give us a little context to the conversation. So, Myrna, introduce yourself. How you doing, boo?
I'm good. Hello,
Good?
guys.
Yeah.
Congrats on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know,
Y'all are doing. You're not trying. You're doing.
that's what's up. That's
Thank you
what's
for
up.
having me. Like Jimmy said, my name is Myrna, and I have a lifestyle blog, and it's called The Colorful Dreamer.
Mhm.
And I am a nurse. This is my purposeful career. I transitioned from sales. And basically, I'm here to talk about what life lessons, I'm learning and I have learned that I am implementing now that I'm 40. And I can't wait to chop it up with you guys.
Nice.
Listen, that's important. So on our first episode, Jimmy and I kind of explained that this podcast is going to be talking to everyday people about everyday things,
Mhm.
right? So having you on, one, you're in a profession that a lot of women can relate to,
Hmm.
right? And obviously you deal with everyday things that a lot of women can relate to as well,
Mhm.
right? So with that being said, man, how we gonna kick this off, man? What we talk about?
Dating in the 40s.
Dating in your 40s.
So, Myrna, not to put your age out there, but you're
It's okay. I'm 40.
40.
And I'm
all right.
proud.
Hey, I'm
Because
listen.
I don't look it,
I think are we all 40 here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all 40.
And we look great.
40
so,
club, 40 club.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like a superpower I unlocked when I turned 40 is that I don't
Yeah.
give a shit no more.
Big
Absolutely.
Big
That's where I'm
facts,
at.
right?
That's
So-
exactly where I'm
Your
at.
superpower unlocked and you don't give a F anymore. My superpower unlocked and my body just started changing. But I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to fix that. I get back in the gym. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
I'll
There
be
you
all
go,
right.
there you
Be
go,
all right.
there you go.
So, Myrn,
Mhm.
dating in the 40s.
Yeah.
All right. Not to put your business out there.
I
but
mean-
how's the love life? How's the dating going? How's that working out?
Well, it's it is very challenging. But what I will say, and I know this may sound a little cliche, but I've learned how to love myself more now that I'm 40. I've done what I needed to do, and I'm still doing what I need to do to love on me more, which I feel right now is currently making my dating life better
Okay.
because I matter, right? My happiness comes first.
Absolutely.
I've always in my past dating life, I've always put others before me,
Okay.
Right.
and then I find myself heartbroken, right?
Mm.
Because I end up doing too much. I'm
Talk
like,
about it.
I'm performing a lot in essence to like pick me, and I never knew what that pick me thing was. And then I realized, oh my God, I am not a pick me bitch. Okay.
Don't you kind of want to be a pick me though? Just a little bit?
No, because I am the one. You just need to realize it, but I need you to realize it without me applying the pressure because it comes
okay.
off thirsty. And there's nothing about me that when you look at me that is thirsty. You know what I'm saying?
So question to that, right? So last time Jimmy and I discussed, it's not good for a man to chase a woman, but it is good for a man to pursue a woman.
Thank you.
Right?
Mhm.
So from a woman's perspective, how do you not look thirsty but show interest?
Okay.
Good
So
question.
my biggest challenge is the masculine versus feminine, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying so hard to be more feminine because I do lean more into my masculine because I've always been that alpha female. My dad has all girls.
Mhm.
And when he wasn't in the house running his business, we were doing all the stuff that he could have been doing in the house. You
Okay,
understand? Like,
okay.
so I don't know how to really rely on a man for anything.
Got you.
So I it's okay for me to take the lead. So if I like a dude, if I'm feeling a dude, I see him across the room, I'll let him know. I'll be the one to like walk up to him. You've seen it, Jimmy, many a time.
You walking up to him.
I'll walk up to them. I've done it before. And there's some men that like it. And there's some men that look at it like it's
Turned off by it.
thirsty.
Right.
And they get turned off or they're like, oh, you do this with everybody. So And right now, because I'm trying to lean into my feminine, I'm trying to stop doing it. And there are some guys that are saying they want that. So then I'm stuck because I'm like, what do I do? Because I can be a little aggressive.
So
I haven't found the middle ground.
now that's good. I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a difference between, you know, being thirsty and walking up to a guy and giving him a nice compliment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like coming up to a guy and giving him a nice compliment,
That's what I always start off with.
that's cool. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, that's not, I don't think that's coming off thirsty.
No.
Because some guys, they like to wait till they get the green light.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And I
right,
think
right.
coming up to you,
Yeah.
giving you, hey, nice shirt, you know, you're a very handsome guy, without doing that, yeah, what's up? Without doing all of that, is a good way to kind of like give the guy the green light. And then from that point,
Yeah.
you let him.
And
do
that's the
what he
problem
has
that
to
I'm
do.
having.
Mm-hmm.
I will initiate and they don't follow through.
Ah.
And then I'm literally stuck because
Fellas, what's going on?
I'm literally like analyzing myself. I'm an overthinker.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
always in my head. I'm always like, I'm very hard on myself. So when they don't follow through, I'm like, damn, what did I do wrong? Did I come off too strong? Like literally just happened to me the other night. Literally. But the thing that's so funny, me and him actually had a whole conversation for an hour.
Mhm.
And he was like, actually, I really do like your approach. He was like, you are subtle. You're really not
Wait,
that
what
aggressive.
was your approach?
That's
though?
what I was gonna ask. What was
So
your
we
approach?
were in a group of friends. So I have a lot of male friends. So
Right.
one of in particular is my best friend, and I was out for one of their birthdays, and it was with their firefighters. So I was out with their friends, whatever, and we was all sitting at the table, and we just talking about dating like we're doing now. But I realized like this dude attractive. So I had him take a picture of us, and he did that little thing where he took the selfie of himself, and then he ended up taking a picture of me. So I had to send him the picture. To be honest, I really wasn't trying to holler at him at first.
Got you.
But I had to give him the picture, so he ended up getting my number. And I was like, oh, he kind of cute, whatever. So then we just started talking. And then while we was on the phone after I left the place, I was like, you know, I hope like I'm not being too forward. He was like, to be honest, it's a breath of fresh air because a lot of women aren't
Got you.
like
Okay.
that. But it is a very thin line though.
Very thin line.
Because you could be doing too much and you're like trying to rush the process. Because even I asked him in text, I was like, am I doing too much? Because I'm flirting. And he was like, nah. He's like, just a little bit, but I like it. But he was
Right.
honest about it.
Yeah.
So y'all still
Yeah, this was like 2 nights
chit-chatting
ago, and
now.
I still got a good morning text this morning.
All right, well,
Oh,
that's
that was nice.
a
Yo,
win in my book.
the infamous good morning text.
Yes.
That's like,
That's a win in my
And
book.
my,
So last time we talked, we spoke about the difference between chasing.
and pursuing.
I said, just not to recap, but I said that men, I believe, it's my belief that we're not supposed to chase. We're supposed to
Mhm.
attract, right? And there's a difference. And Shakira asked, is there a difference between chasing and pursuing? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
The difference between chasing and pursuing is when you're pursuing, you're doing everything you're supposed to do as a man, like you're taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of your bills, you know, taking care of your body, your health, your mental, and those type of things. You put that out in the
And you'll
atmosphere,
attract-
and you
oh.
attract a certain kind of woman. But when you chase a woman, you forget about your purpose, you forget about what you're supposed to be handling, you forget about, you know, your businesses, and because you're so focused on this person, you're trying to help this person, you're
Right,
trying to
right,
help
right.
this person do this, that, and the third. And then by the time you realize it, like you done lost yourself, then they get what they needed to get out of you, and then you still messed up.
Mhm.
So there's a difference, in my opinion, there's a difference between chasing and pursuing.
Absolutely.
Would you agree on that?
I would agree, but I could take it a different way because I actually just had the conversation with a guy on Hinge. He was like, when a man chases, it's kind of like cat and mouse, right? It's
Mhm.
like playing games. The female, she'll act like she interested, and then she'll fall back a little bit just to see if he's gonna holler at her, and she want to see how many times he gonna call before she pick up the phone, how many times she counts how many seconds before she texts him back, and like men start to feel that. Y'all start to feel like,
Yo.
okay, she playing games. So to me, that's the chase because she's running. She's just trying to see how far you're gonna run to catch her,
listen, bro.
right?
So when I was single, right, and I used to be on Hinge too, right. I think they kicked me off. They was like, you've done enough here, sir. Go.
Yeah.
Right. So if I was texting a woman, all right, we were texting back and forth, and then she stopped because she wanted me to chase. I guarantee you, a couple days later, she'd be like, "Oh, that didn't work."
Yeah, because you're gone.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'll pursue you. I'm not gonna chase you.
So the
Facts.
thing is with pursuing though, there's a way to do it so a woman can feel like, oh wow, he's interested, right? Just like, here's my thing. Don't do anything that you can't be consistent with doing.
Oh, for
Mm.
sure.
If you're a guy that naturally will
Gem.
really say good morning to me every morning, like literally that's your thing, do it. But if you're doing it to impress me and you can't keep it up, don't do it, because that's literally my pet peeve. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care about the connection. I will literally leave you where I found you.
Yo,
Because I can't take that inconsistency, because it's too much. Again, I'm an overthinker. It's going to mess me up.
so like 2 years later, you still expect a good morning text?
Yeah. Don't keep it up. Don't mess it up. Of course, we're going to find our own groove, right? There's different ways. But I need my man or the person who's trying to pursue me to make me feel like I'm thought of it at the first day in the morning. You know, like, okay, I understand things are happening. But before the afternoon hits, you need to hit me up, period.
I think there's certain things that's just inherently built into a man's character, and if he just doesn't have
Correct.
it, he just
He doesn't have it.
Like
Correct.
me, I don't care who it is. It could be my mom, it could be my sister, it could be anybody, my kids. I'm open. I open the doors. Like I open the doors, I hold the doors.
Yes.
And some women that find out, oh my God, you open doors,
Mhm.
right? But I think that's just built in my nature. I'm holding the
Correct.
door,
Correct.
know, for my lady, whatever. So I feel like certain guys, it just may not be built in their character to do certain things. You know what I
But my
mean?
thing is, show that early on. Like, let me see who you really are. Be inconsistently consistent, because then I could get used to that.
Right.
There's a dude I'm talking to in Delaware. I promise you, I do not talk to this man every day.
Mm.
But I know I'm going
But
to hear
you're
from
used
him.
to it.
I'm used to it, so I
Got
can't
you.
get mad at him.
Right.
But if a dude is hitting me up every day and then you disappear out of the blue, and then you're going to trip on me because I'm calling you out on you disappearing, why are you getting mad at me? You got me used to something that you can't keep up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? When a man is not consistent, especially in the beginning, I can tell you right now, it's probably because we don't really care that much, right? You're probably like
Or there's options.
one of many. You're on the roster,
Mhm.
right?
Options,
So it's
yeah.
like
Correct.
I could talk to her, I could not talk to her. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So in saying that, I'm not trying to out you or nothing like
That's
that.
fine.
But do you have a roster?
Yeah.
How do you balance a roster?
And I don't like balancing a roster, because it's really hard for me to concentrate. Like, I just really want to focus on one person.
I feel you.
But unfortunately, I have to play the game, so that, because I have to
play the game.
protect myself. I know who Myrna is, and
Mhm.
Myrna gets caught up quick.
Yeah.
If I
Gotcha.
like you and you show me a little bit of consistency, there's nothing that you ain't really gonna get out of me. Like, I'm gonna want to talk to you every day. I'm gonna
Hey.
want to go out with you. I will suggest the dates. Like, I will do that. And then I find myself looking crazy later on, because
They
then I
say
find out he's talking to
consistency-
this, that, and the
Yeah,
other.
true.
Consistency is key.
A roster has always been a thing, though.
Yeah,
If you
but
think
it
about
hasn't always been a thing for me. Now, I literally just thought about it the other day. I was like, oh, okay, I got like a nice little one-hand roster going.
Listen,
I got one in
man.
New York, I got one in Delaware, I got two in Jersey. And in my mind,
I
I'm
ain't
like,
mad at you.
may
Listen,
the best man win. But the thing is, I'm brutally honest, and my girlfriends be
Okay.
like, nah, yo, you ain't supposed to be telling them that.
Now this is
I'm
what we're
like-
gonna talk about.
I'm like, but why not?
Question for
Because
you.
I want to know.
Yeah. Last episode, again, we had a conversation. It's a difference between like dating, right? And then being a player.
Yes.
So we said that there was a thin line between the two, at least as a man, right?
Mhm.
There's a thin line between the two. So as you're a man, you're single, you out there, you're dating, you could be dating multiple people. You don't really feel the need to tell them because you're dating. You're not locked down to anybody, right?
Correct.
But then you have all these women. They're thinking they're the one. You didn't say anything, so now if one finds out, the other finds out. Now you're considered a player. And I think the difference is the communication.
It's the communication.
Letting them know, like, listen, I like you, I'm feeling you. I am talking to a couple people, nothing serious, but I'm talking to a couple people, and then
They
that's
let them
you-
make their decision from there,
right.
because I've tried that before, and it's always come and smacked me in my face.
Fair enough.
Wait,
And
what-
I've got
what smacked
called.
you in the
I've got
face?
called a player, because it's like, oh, I didn't know that you was talking to this, that, and other. Or like, even if I've said it in my current dating life, they're like, oh, so you a player? Oh, you got fan club. To me, that irks me. I'm a beautiful woman. Why wouldn't I be talking to more than one man?
Mm.
It's up to you to lock me
True,
down and
true,
make
true,
me
true.
yours. You're supposed to command my attention.
Mhm.
How can I just focus on you when you're probably talking to God knows who, and I'm out here looking crazy?
Yo, you know what's so crazy? One of our late great philosophers, right?
If you
Listen,
you
listen,
say-
listen.
I will
He's gonna
walk
say-
off
he's
the
gonna say
stage.
the
Oh, I'm
name.
not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. So one of our late great philosophers had a piece, right? When I was a teenager,
Mhm.
I would study this piece, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Fast forward, when I was, when I became an adult and I'm out here dating, and I listened to this piece again, brother, this piece was mind blowing.
What do you say?
Right. So I'm talking about the late great Dr. DMX.
Oh,
So
I thought you was talking about that KS man. We're not
Kevin
gonna-
Samuel.
We're not gonna say that
Listen.
man's name. R.I.P. That's
nah.
it. Let's leave it
Well,
alone.
hold
We
on.
gonna get
So Dr. DMX had a piece entitled "What These Bitches Want from a Nigga," right? And in this piece, he says there was Brenda, Letitia, and he's
He
naming
went
all
down
these
the
names.
whole list.
And I'm listening to the song, and I go to my phone. I'm like, damn, I got something to pick my phone right now. He talking to me. I said, damn. And then he goes, I gave you what you gave me, boo, a nut. I said,
Oh, my goodness.
mind blown. But that's dating though.
Yeah.
That's dating. Like the men got their rosters, the women got their rosters, and it's like we all just going until it's like, oh,
but
I really
here's
like
the
you.
thing.
At some point, you get tired though of doing all.
But
that.
also, like you said, it goes back to communication and being intentional.
Mhm.
Everyone I meet on the app, and even my profile makes it clear what exactly that I want.
Mm.
So if you come in at me with the okey doke and you want the friends with benefits, you could keep it pushing because that's not what I want.
And there's a lot of women out there who are cool with that though. So I think that you can
And that's
be honest.
great for them.
You can be honest up front because there are women out there who want that.
Yes.
So if you out here playing with women who you know don't want that,
Correct.
then
Keep
that's
it
kinda
moving.
corny.
Right.
And I actually, my most recent situation, almost 60-year-old man, 57-year-old man, you would think he'd have his intentionality in order.
Right.
And we had when I tell you that date was amazing, and I lost myself. I went against all my rules. And I crossed the line way too soon because I was in the moment. Like I really was like, it was one of those movie type things where it's just like, yo, just flow,
Right.
Yeah.
And he grown, so I didn't have to worry about like, oh, he gonna pigeonhole me. Lies they tell. But then again, you have to realize your power. That's when you got to realize what you possess, right?
Gotcha. Mhm.
Not everybody is meant to experience you. But that's an episode. That's another
That's
episode.
another
But I
Another
think
time.
that I think
So-
that when you talk about that though,
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes dating tricky. Right.
Yes.
So you had a man, he rolled out the red carpet for you, had an amazing time, and you was like, you know what? I don't normally do this, but
Yes, I said
I'm
exactly
going
that.
in, whatever.
And
And
he
then-
kept me in that box.
Wow.
The first conversation we had the same intentions. We wanted the same things.
Mhm.
But then all of a sudden,
Mm.
that's all you want.
Mhm.
And he saw the value in me because every time we spoke, he spoke about my value.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
what are we doing, sir?
Right.
I had to leave that situation because I already saw myself getting too caught up with him. And I knew he could, but he was stopping himself from doing so. So I had to leave the situation alone.
So is the dating scene ugly?
Yes, it is the ghetto outside. I hate it, but I am enduring because I have too much love in my heart. And I know God didn't give me all of this for me to just keep it for myself and my dog.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Little Ricky,
I'm
what they call
supposed to
him.
share it with someone.
Right. No.
So I don't call myself a hopeless romantic. I call myself a hopeful one. I believe it's gonna
That's good. I like that.
happen for
I like
me.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Sometimes it just takes time. man.
And sometimes
It
it
might
happens
not-
when you least expect it, like
when
they
you
say.
expect it. And sometimes it might not be the first one.
Mm-mm.
Might not be the next one. You know what I mean? And you just have to,
But I'm having fun.
you got to carry yourself in a certain way. Like I say, you got to carry yourself in a certain way that, okay, this one didn't work out. Cool. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You experienced something.
Hmm.
Next one didn't work out.
And I
you
learned
experience- You
lessons.
experience something. You learn lessons.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just keep. But when you go into it like, all right, I'm only dating to find Mr. Right. That's cool, idyllically, right? It's cool. I'm only dating to find Mr. Right. But you're gonna go through a lot of Mr. Wrongs before you find that Mr. Right. So are you
Wanna
gonna
ask you
just like throw your whole, like all your energy off? Oh, what was me? Nah, you just like, all right, I learned a lesson.
Keep it pushing.
Keep
Yeah.
it pushing.
No mistakes.
So here's the thing, though. Maybe you can just. So when you're dating with intention,
Mm-hmm.
is it hard to tell men, listen, I am dating with intention? Does it scare them off? Does it? And does it also kind of like give them the game up front to let them know how they need to play it in order to get what they want? Because if you tell them I'm dating with intention, so they can be like, all right, I'm going to pretend like I have intentions.
And that's the tricky part because I follow a lot of people that give those advices, right? They're like, oh, just let a man show you who they are. Don't say nothing. Don't say what you want, nothing. Just let them show you. And then you float like that. But for me, it's just so difficult. Like I'm learning how to just know when to say things, like really just shut up and just watch what this man is gonna do rather than me blurting it out. But sometimes I feel like I have to say it.
Okay.
It all depends on the situation and the person.
Okay.
But I do make it clear that I'm not about the games,
Mm-hmm.
and just please be honest with me. And like, if you just want friends with benefits, just know that's not what I want. And I'm too old to be acquiring friends. Like, I'm 40 years old. I got enough friends.
Right.
If it ain't a friendship that's gonna build to more, I don't want it. Like, what are we doing? But again, I am having fun because I am dating. So when I go on these dates, no matter what, I'm making sure I have a good time. Myrna's out. Myrna look good. Myrna gonna have a good time, whether it's a good date or not. I'm gonna have a good time.
Listen, man, I got a homeboy who's single, and when I talk to him from time to time, he tells me how trash it is out here, right? So one day, because I'm in a relationship, me and my girl, we get into an argument, right? And I'm like, forget it, we're done, right? And then my boy called me, and he's like, bruh, it's crazy.
You better go
He
back
told me
and
this
make it.
crazy story, right?
Mhm.
I got off the phone with him. I was like, man, I'm about to call my girl.
Yeah,
I ain't
fix
tryna-
it,
I
make
ain't
it
about-
right.
Like, baby, I'm sorry. Come back home.
Yeah.
right?
Big facts.
Yeah. I think that at this point, at 40, I prefer to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
I do not want to be single, but God forbid, if anything were to happen where I was single, I would not be in another relationship ever again.
Wow.
I wouldn't do it.
And this is exactly what I'm encountering too. I am encountering men that are fed up and they're probably giving it one last go,
Mhm.
but they're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I ain't gonna front. I am 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Gotcha.
Majority of the time. And a lot of them peep it. Like, I don't realize I have my guards up. They have to tell me. Because here I am thinking I'm being all like, oh, intentional and vulnerable. But they're like, nah, you're still very protective. You ready to go. Because literally the first mishap, I'm ready to be like, I'm out.
Got you.
And that's not good if I want a long-term relationship.
No, it's not.
I mean, sometimes that can protect you, though.
I know.
That can protect you
But
sometimes.
then there's a certain vulnerability that you, like, when you're going into a relationship or when you have the intention to be in a relationship, that comes with a certain vulnerability that you have to kind of like expose, because without that, like, who am I dating? Like, how do I know how do I know how soft you are? How do I know how you love? How do I know what
you're passionate about?
You're passionate about if you come in the door, rah-rah, you know what I'm saying? I don't need a man for this, I don't need a man for that. Like, as men, we don't want to hear that. Men, we're providers, we're protectors. At least some of us are. We're supposed to be providers and protectors, right? I want to know what your vulnerability is. Not for me to take advantage of it, but for me to protect it.
Yeah.
Let me cater around to what your vulnerabilities are. Let me cater around to, okay, I know my girl don't like this, so I gotta make sure I don't do that. You know what I mean? But when you come in with that wall, that strength up, it's gonna turn some men off. Some men just don't have time for that too. Like, I don't have time to soften up a chick because of what the next guy did. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's fair.
As men, we go through our own stuff.
That's true.
We go through our own stuff. Like, I'm at a point in my life, I just want peace. I don't want to fight.
And that's the
I don't
trend.
wanna
That's
fight.
what I hear.
I don't want to be mad about certain things. I just want peace.
But
man.
my thing
Whatever
is, if you want
is.
peace, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
My thing, because I hear this a lot, and the only time things get unpeaceful is when I realize, first of all, he ain't trying to give me peace first. You have to understand, the way you can give me peace first is by being consistent, being honest, showing up for me when I need you, making me feel pursued and desired. You do that, there's no way I can't give you peace. But once you pull back, you stop doing the things you used to do, all of a sudden you're not a phone person. You think that I'm not going to choose violence and call you out? And that's my problem. I choose violence a lot. I will call dudes out.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what you got to understand about relationships as well, all right? Now, you say in order for you to get peace, you got to give me some sort of assurance so I can feel peaceful, so I can give you that peace, right? Relationships, it's not a monotone thing. There's going to be points where we're high.
Of course.
And there's going to be points where we're not always going to get it right.
Correct.
All right, cool, right? So if we're not always going to get it right, and it's high points and low points and it's flat lines, it's just the nature of a relationship, right? You still have to try to maintain some sort of peace, you know what I'm saying? Some sort of decorum, some sort of peace, so that man can actually feel safe enough to be like, all right, yo, I'm wild and my baby's upset at me. Let me, let me
Yeah,
fix
I
this.
think the
Let me
approach.
fix this.
Yeah.
Your
I don't get
approach
that.
your approach got
I
to be
don't
a
get that.
certain
They be
way.
like, I think it's my approach because I'm
Oh,
so rough.
Yeah,
I'm ready to fight them because I call. But the thing is, they make me so angry because it's like,
relationship. I understand. You want consistency. Most women want consistency in a relationship, as you should have that. But as a man in my 40s, all right, I know a thing or two. It's not always gonna be.
It's
not
not.
always gonna
It's
be
definitely
like
not.
that.
but here's
You
the
know what I'm
thing.
saying?
What the thing is that I think that's different here in regards to what we're saying.
Mhm.
You guys are already talking about being in that full-fledged relationship. I'm still stuck at the 2-3 month mark.
Right.
Literally,
But-
I just
but
need you to
is-
be consistent
It's
there.
that 2-3 point mark where things get a little like, all right, man, like, all right, it's been 3 months. He's been consistent thus far. All right, maybe we got a little hiccup. Let's reel it back and then figure out what happened without saying, man, fuck this, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I'll say, and this is we
Yeah.
talked last time about giving our daughters
Oh,
game, right?
It's running in the back of her head.
Oh, it's
right
going through
now,
your head
bro.
right now?
She know what I'm talking about, man.
She like, damn, he right.
Mhm.
I don't want to say it though. But here's the thing though, because you're right. We're in relationships, right? And
I'm trying.
you're trying to get there, right? Here's some advice I would give my daughter. I would say to my daughter, the sure way to hold a man accountable, right, is to let him know up front, like you said, I'm dating, for specific purposes to be in a relationship. And you have that conversation before you get intimate with someone.
Yes.
Right. So if you have that conversation, say, hey, look, I don't get intimate with guys who I'm not in a serious relationship with.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to rush you. I'm loving our vibe, our pace, but I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to be, sexually intimate with you unless we're in a committed relationship. If that man comes back and he's like, all right, yeah, no, I'm cool with it. I'm feeling you. I'm ready to take that next step. And then y'all become intimate and then he changes it up again, then you can 100% hold that man accountable. But if the conversation is not had prior to the intimacy, women got the power before the intimacy comes into place, and now we got the power afterwards because now we can decide whether we want to stay, go. You're emotionally invested, physically invested, and now the man has all the power. So I would say have that conversation before intimacy is even on the table,
Mhm.
Yes, which I have done.
All right, good.
or which you have done, and it still has.
I mean, it's all
You know-
different type of men.
You know,
Yeah,
no, there's
true,
there's
true.
different type of men, but I
Yeah.
also can hold myself accountable and saying like it is the
Absolutely.
way that I approach situations that perturb me.
Yeah.
There's some
Gotcha.
times where I have to pick my battles. I have to figure out, okay, Myrna, is this really worth addressing? Is it a you issue? Why does this bother you so much? So I have to literally write it out. I write it out. I read it to myself. I speak it out. Like if I'm writing a text to the person, I read it to myself. Like, ooh, you sound crazy. Like I will delete it, and I'll just or I won't say anything at all. Like
Right.
literally, this is the process I go through now because if I keep getting the same result, it has to be me,
Mm.
and I don't have a problem.
That self-realization.
Yo, I have
is a
no-
big piece that
I
some
have
women
no
don't.
problem
Yo,
doing that.
we need to have like a gift bag or something, right? For women who come on the show and say, and I take accountability.
I take it all
Like,
day, every day.
a
But my
gold
thing
star, something.
they need to do it too. And I don't have a problem taking accountability in front of a man. I have no problem apologizing when I went left field or if I came at you crazy. I'm like, yo, you know what? I shouldn't have even spoke to you like that. You are a man. I should respect the fact that you're a man, but I just want you to understand my perspective. Blah, 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 blah. The problem that I'm having is the resolve after a disagreement. They don't tend to care how I feel.
Mm.
And I think, again, it has a lot to do with me coming for their neck. And I may have emasculated them in some way because
Bingo.
my choice of words
Bingo.
aren't. Listen, I'm an intellect, okay? And I pride myself on that. I'm not going to dumb myself down for anybody. And I've had many a men tell me, oh, I love how intelligent you are, da-da-da-da. But the moment I use that intelligence to tell them about themselves, all of a sudden.
So I'm gonna give you two quick points, right? You and I, my cousin and I have shared text messages where
And him and I have gotten
we've
into it.
gotten into it. And she will throw the word gaslighting around so quick, and I'd be like, "What the? I was not gaslighting you." Which brings me to my next point. So, last time we spoke, we talked about the words. As men, I feel. That's a quick way for me. Look, I'm checked out of the conversation. I'm
Wow.
gonna tell you why. I don't I don't mind that, I feel, right? But here's the thing. Men, and I think Shakira would agree, right? We tend to kind of like deal in what actually happened, right?
The logistics.
The logistics of what actually happened.
Mhm.
And I'm cool with I feel. All right, baby, I feel like you did this and I feel like you did that, right?
Mhm.
When it was like, let's say, oh, hey, babe, how you doing? I'm good. How's everything going today? Good, babe. All right, what you doing? Well, I'm at work right now. You all right? Yeah, I'm good. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later. All right, cool. Boom. Hang up the phone. Then you get the text message. I feel like you really wasn't paying no attention to me. I feel like you weren't trying. What is going on?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that word
man.
I feel drives me nuts.
And-
Because I wanna
Validate the feelings.
I want to validate your feelings.
But
I
you're
wanna
already feeling
acknowledge-
attacked.
I'm already feeling attacked. So
I don't know if I care to validate the feeling.
So
But
you
you
see what I'm
should.
saying?
I don't know if I care to. But you said something that was profound to me. You said, I want you to understand my perspective. I think I would be more
Open.
more open and willing to receive what you're saying if you say, babe, I want to talk to you about something. I need you to understand my perspective versus I feel like, because again, like I said last time, your feelings, his feelings, mine can be whatever we decide it to be.
Right.
Correct.
we
And it's
can-
gonna be true to us,
Us.
because we're the one
Feeling
experiencing
it.
Right.
And guess what? I recently learned, and you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I probably shouldn't be giving this game, but the women need to know this because I'm trying to study it for myself
Okay.
to make it a natural way of me expressing things that get under my skin, so I don't repel, but I attract, and I make them want to understand my perspective because they're like it's a middle ground, right? They're a little bit more empathetic by me starting off, because you men are you guys are actually really easy. And you need to be like
listen.
you need to be petted and like feel like whatever.
Pacified.
So no, not pacified, but feel like the man, but feel like appreciated, right? So it's better to say, babe, I really love when you call me in the morning. It makes me feel so appreciated and prioritized by you. And sometimes when you don't do it, I feel it does come. The word "feel" is going to be in there, but I do not lead with it.
Right.
So when you don't do that, babe, sometimes I feel a little like left out.
I'm
Hold
with
on.
that.
I have tried this, and it really did work.
It works.
He was like, "Oh," literally hit me with
so
the, "Oh,
what you're saying
babe,
is
thanks
your
for saying."
approach was different.
Yes.
Instead of choosing violence.
Yes.
You did not choose violence, but you still got your feelings across.
I did get
and
it
you
across.
got the response that you were
Yes,
actually
because
looking
I
for.
made him understand how he makes me feel when he does the things I like that he does. Because when you guys understand, like, yo, she like that, y'all gonna want to do it more because it's like, it's like I'm sorry to use this analogy, but it's like a dog when you give him a treat. When I tell my dog to sit, no, real talk, my dog in the morning, if he can't,
Roof.
no, real talk. And if Ricky knows I'm sleeping in, right? And he can't wait no more. You know how happy he is when he goes on the pad? He'll go on the pad and he'll jump on the bed and he does all this stuff. And I'm like, what's the problem? I get up and I see the big spot on the pad. I'm like, oh my God, you want pee on the circling. He waiting for the treat.
But you know what?
Because he's ready to be rewarded.
A woman who knows how to communicate with her man, right, can still get her feelings across in the reverse, right? So instead of saying, I feel left out, or you didn't think about me this morning because you didn't text me to say good morning.
Correct.
Right?
It's accusation.
Another way to do that, right? It is accusation. Another way to do that is to say, babe, in the morning, I really feel appreciated and thought of when you text me good morning. It helps me start my day. Whatever a woman chooses to say. And then the man would be like, damn, I forgot to text her this morning. And that's probably why she's bringing it up.
Of course.
Instead of saying,
I feel like you don't care about me because you don't
the
text me.
accusatory.
Yeah.
Wait, you feel like I don't care about you because I didn't text you? All the
And then it escalates into something else.
Yes, all the things that. So now here's where the escalation comes in. So now, and I'm rolling the tape back, and I'm like, yo, I've done this. I've done that.
Now everybody gonna run down the
I
list.
showed you that. Now why would you say I don't care about you because you didn't get a text? It does not mean I don't care. So
that's why my approach
lead
works
with the I feel. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
Like,
agree.
you could
I agree with
use
that.
the word, but leading with the I feel with certain men, I know me. The I feel will definitely. I'm checking out before the conversation gets started, which is unfair, right? But at the same time, we did touch on the fact that as women want their feelings to be validated, right? They want their feelings to be heard, which is what us men we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Protect your woman's feelings, validate her feelings, hear her out. However, when the woman comes in hot and heavy, and I feel like you don't do this, and I feel like you don't do that, that accusatory stance,
That
that
tone,
that tone.
even the facial expression. Because with me, even though I've learned to shut up, right, and not choose violence, my face. He was like, "What I do now?" I had to say nothing. I was like, nothing. I said, I'm trying to choose my words wisely, so I'm not saying anything. Oh boy, but your energy, everybody's on the energy vibe
Yo,
now.
energy
Oh,
is
but your
important, though.
energy is off. So I ain't really feeling that. So we'll talk later. For me, that's a form of rejection too, because now you're not even really trying to figure out why my energy is this way. And I'm literally telling you, babe, I really want to choose my words wisely here.
Energy is very important. Though.
It is very important
Energy is
because
important.
I'm very sensitive to energies even more so now. So I get it. And I already know what I'm exuding with my facial expression. I know. I just want him to approach me in a softer way to be like, all right, babe, you know what? What is it? I already see it. Instead of checking out like, yo, I ain't feeling energy, so I'm gonna holler at you another time. What am I supposed to do with that?
Right. Now that's not the best.
What am I supposed to do with that? Come on now, that's not being sensitive to me. To me nowadays, because I hear too many people get on me about me leading with my feelings, and I'm learning so sensitive. I am leaning more into. I really want you to understand my perspective. That's what I'm trying to lead with more.
That's what you should.
I think
because I want to understand yours. You
I
understand?
think that's more productive.
Yeah, I think so too.
So here's the other thing to that too, right? I think every man is different, right? The same way every woman is different. Can't no man go into a relationship be like, well, my last girl dealt with this, so you gonna deal with it too. It's not gonna happen.
No.
So every man, every woman is different. If a woman takes the time to learn, study her man, without the aggression, without the violence, you could literally. There's an algorithm to every man. You can literally get your man to do whatever you want him to do. Yeah. You just got to learn the algorithm of him.
Yeah.
See how we schooling? We talked about this too.
But that's facts. But learn the algorithm of me too.
So we both
True. It goes both ways. Absolutely.
We both have children, right? I have 2 daughters. Shakira has a daughter. And last time we spoke, we said, yo, my daughter's she's gonna be straight. Both of my daughters are gonna be good because when they get old enough to even be in a space to have these type of conversations, they can have all the game because I'm not holding nothing back. I'm gonna be like, baby, he said what? Nah, let me tell you what he really meant.
Yo, he really meant.
Let me tell you what he really meant. Oh, and on the flip side, like, baby, you cannot be like that. Don't start with I feel, right? Don't start with I feel, right? And I feel like, definitely your relationship with your father plays a role in how you date men, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So not to get in your business
but it's
too
okay.
much, you know what I'm saying? So how was that type of how was that?
That dynamic.
That dynamic.
So that dynamic is interesting and challenging at times and getting better now. But growing up Haitian, like we don't talk about relationships. We don't talk about sex. Like
with your parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't my mother said boys and books don't mix. That's it. That was it. That was a lesson.
Gotcha.
And no sex. That's it. No why, no reason, just no.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. That's it. And my relationship with my dad was always like we bumped heads because I'm more of the rebel. I'm more like why? But why? I'm not just gonna say yes. I'm like, why? But why? And I'll say no more than I'll say yes.
Okay.
So we've always been like this for the most part. But now we're getting better because I'm speaking up more and I'm letting him understand who I am as a grown woman, as his child, but still a grown woman,
Gotcha.
so that he can understand how I move and why I move the way I move. And I've learned to understand him too. So I think because me and my dad weren't always the closest, but we had our moments where we were close, like we connect well with music and things like that. We have certain things we connect on. That has always made me in relationships really try hard to get the attention of men because I'm seeking validation because even to this day, I seek a lot of validation from my dad.
So do you think that because earlier you said that you choose violence, right? So since you and your dad, when you were younger, used to do this all the time, do you think that just became your approach to conflict resolution with men? Gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely, because I felt like my dad always was challenging me. Like I just felt like it was never enough. Like I'm the overachiever, right, Jimmy? Like I do the most with all the degrees and all this, but if I ain't doing exactly what he want me to do,
right,
I ain't doing enough.
Gotcha.
You know the crazy part is because like I know my uncle, right? He's a super entrepreneurial guy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I see a lot of that in you as well. You know, you got your master's degree, you know, graduated, did your thing, and you know, just to kind of like roll the tape back and see his dynamic with yours, I can totally
Totally
see
see it.
where it comes from. But I think the reverse is true with men as well, because I grew up in a single family, single parent household. It was just me and my mom, like literally my whole life. And my mom is super affectionate, right? Super affectionate. And you know, I'm like that with my girls now. Like I will love and kiss on them all day. I don't care how embarrassed.
And that's
I
how you are
kiss
with
them, I
us.
kiss them. And that's how I am with all my female cousins.
Mhm.
You know, like I'm just like a super affectionate person. And like I said, I think the reverse is true as
Yeah.
well, right? But I also think that there's a point where as you grow into who you are, some of that has to change too.
Oh, absolutely.
Regardless of
Yeah.
how you kind of
Right,
like
right.
came up. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
you have to kind of like tailor it to whatever specific relationship that you're into. You know, absolutely keep your personality. Absolutely love how you love, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also a thing where you can't love everybody the same way. You
Absolutely
can't
not.
interact with everybody the same way.
Correct.
So
I think to that as well. You know, how you raise your daughter is absolutely how she's going to go out into the world and interact with men, right? So I think that as dads, I think it's important to teach your daughters the difference between how you say you're going to love bomb on your daughter and all sorts of stuff, and you know, I do the same. But I think it's important for me to teach my daughter the way I love you, the way I treat you. A man is not going to do this
absolutely
in a very identical manner, right? And I think that it
Identical
would have
manner
been,
is the key word.
I think it was maybe it would have been important for you to say, for your dad to come to you and say, you know, baby girl, me and you bumped heads, but going out into the world and dealing with men, you cannot behave like this.
Correct.
Toward men.
He would say it, but he wouldn't say it gently. It's just like, you can't be doing it. Like, I remember one time driving my car and he was a passenger in my car because I wouldn't let him drive it. He's like, what are you gonna do? Where you get a man? You're not gonna let him drive you around. And so it wasn't gentle, right?
Right, I
So
got you,
me
I
and him
got you.
aren't gentle. We are not. We talk in high tones, and he like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, why are you yelling at me? Like, that's how we banter.
right.
And I realized when I talk soft with my dad, then he talks soft to me. So I went all the way to Bali to seek peace in my life
Wow.
recently so that I can better manage the relationship I have with myself and the relationship I have with my parents and the people that I love in my life. And when I went out there, I did mention to the Balinese priest my relationship with my father. And he told me what I needed to do in order to get closer to him. And I didn't necessarily do that act just yet, but I am approaching him differently. Like, because Balinese people, everything is by the heart. You lead with love, everything. My father is a huge romantic. My father leads with his heart all the time. I get that
Gotcha.
from him.
Got you.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pour love on this man. And I've come to the resolve that my dad is 70 years old. He is not going to change his ways. So I need to love on this man because when he's not here, I'm gonna miss the hell out of him, right? So I'm just gonna do what I gotta do and just be like, you know what? At the end of the day, I know this is coming from a loving place. And the way that he was raised is the way that he has projected his way of raising us in a sense, but he's always been there. At the end of the day, I can't say my dad has never been there. He's always been there. I can never say I was raised without a father. My father just loves on me differently than he does my other two sisters. But that's okay. We have
He's
our
more
own
gentle
dynamic.
with them than he is with you. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean? Okay.
In a sense.
Okay.
Do you think it's because of how you interact with him that he has to be a certain
Yeah,
way
also
with
I
you?
also remind him a lot of my mom. My mom and I are both Scorpios. They're not together anymore.
Where-
So I remind him a lot of her.
Where
I'm
are
sure.
you in the order? Are you the oldest, the youngest?
I'm the middle.
You're the middle. Okay.
You
Got
know,
Okay.
yeah, hard-headed. So
They
So-
say the middle child is typically the hard-headed one.
we're in attention seeking like crazy.
I'm the youngest of 5, and people think I'm spoiled, but I'm not. My siblings used to beat up on me all the time. Yeah. My
Nah.
sisters won't admit it to this day. They used to,
man.
y'all used to beat up on me. all the time.
No, I was the one who always did the most because once my little sister was born, the attention wasn't on me anymore. I wasn't the baby anymore.
Right.
So now I was doing all the plays. I was doing everything so that I wouldn't be faded out.
Gotcha.
Until this day, I'm still realizing I'm doing that song and dance. And I'm like, I can't live my life like this. You know, I'm like, Dad, accept me for who I am and what I'm doing and understand that everything that I do is with you in mind.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
like you've raised women that are not mediocre. Like we're not good. We're not lazy.
Mhm.
Like we are go-getters, you know, like just understand the way I am is because of you. And even though I didn't do it the way you wanted me to do it or at the time you wanted me to do it, just acknowledge when it's getting done.
I still got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? I think that, you know, the type of retreat you went on in Bali, you said,
Mhm.
I think I could use something like that.
Well, then the next one is next year, so I'll let
Yeah.
you guys know.
Because I feel like I'm only soft and gentle when it comes to my daughter, right?
Mm.
And, you know, I used to, you know, talk to my therapist at least once a month. And one thing she told me was that she's like, Shakir, the only good relationship in your life cannot be your daughter.
Yeah.
She said it cannot be that. So I feel like I got to learn how to soften up a little bit, especially in my relationship.
And it
as a-
starts with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way you love on you. Like I came back from Bali, like can't nobody tell me nothing about Myrna. Like I love me. Like I've been taking myself out on dates. Like I have my moments where I get emotional. Where like,
Yeah.
damn, I really wish I had someone here. But then I just like I brush it off and I'm
sometimes
like,
you gotta date
course, yeah.
yourself, man. You gotta
oh,
date
I
yourself.
love, and you know me, I
gotta
don't have no
learn
problem going out by
yourself.
myself.
Yeah, you gotta date yourself. You gotta learn yourself. You gotta
Yeah.
learn, you know, like the intricacies about yourself, so that you know
Yeah.
when you do finally meet, you know,
Can't nobody tell
Mr.
me about
Right.
me.
Right. Well, not even just that, but when you do finally meet Mr. Right, you can like fully
Be myself
be
and-
yourself, and
yeah.
have somebody that appreciate that.
True.
For sure.
You know what I think is important too? If you are a single woman like yourself and you're dating, things like that, you hear a lot of women say, I'll be feminine for the right man.
Nah, man. That's
Right? And
bad
that's like a man
business, bro.
saying,
Mm,
I'll be masculine for the right woman. It's
Yeah.
like either you're masculine or you're
Or
not.
you're
Either
not,
you're feminine
or
or you're
you're
not. It's
not.
not a
Right.
switch that you can turn on at
no.
30,
Right.
35, 40
Right.
because you met the right guy. Like
Right.
it's something you have to practice throughout your life.
Yeah.
And so when you meet a man, right, and I don't think there's anything wrong with when you meet a man and you are 100% feminine, but you recognize his character and it's not for you, you'd be like, all right, you're just not the guy for me. I'm still
Correct.
going to be feminine. I'm still going to be me. You're just not the guy for me.
Correct.
But I think saying I'm not going to be
No.
something until I meet, you know, a specific
I'm just
person,
trying to
I don't
be
think
it.
that's
I don't even know. I'm not saying, oh, the
Right.
right man gotta come along for me feminine. I'm literally just trying to be feminine because I lead so much with my masculine. But for me, I think I would just be submissive for the right man.
Mm.
Here's the thing.
Mm.
As a Haitian woman,
Mhm.
we are naturally submissive.
Mhm.
We were raised that way.
Mhm.
My father has nothing but women in the house.
Mhm.
He came home, he was the king of the freaking castle, shoes taken off,
Nice.
served. Like, you know, I've gotten men get mad at me for not cooking for them. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't do that anymore. Because when I cook, I'm putting my heart into it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to serve you. I take pride in that.
Right.
But I got to do it for the right person. I've done it for the wrong people. So now I have put that on reserve. And now I'm like, I want to be submissive for the right man, not feminine for the right man. I want to be feminine for myself
Right.
because
Yeah,
it's hard for me to
exactly.
just
You
do
should. You
it.
should
But
be.
I want to be submissive for the right man.
Yo, cooking.
I think there's a. Here's the thing.
Don't hold your thought about cooking.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I got you.
I'm
I
gonna
got
touch
you.
on that so
Nah,
we
go
can,
ahead.
we can bounce on. So cooking, right? You said you're dating somebody who's like, no, sorry, I can't cook for you, right? But you could be submissive for the right man. Yo, honestly, I don't know how I feel about that because I tell you, if you're dating, you know, I might cook for you, you might cook for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Being submissive to your man's demands is a different story. You could be submissive over a course of different things, but preparing a meal, like you're just showing that dude that you like him, that you're
No.
interested.
Not because of because of the way that I do it, the way I know I do it, what it means to me.
Mm.
That's why it's different for me. Of course, it's no
But
big deal to cook for somebody.
That brings it back to what I said before. Like, I'm gonna open the door for you regardless, right? So I can't say I'm not gonna open the door for you because
That's fair.
you're not the right person. You
That's
know
a
what I'm saying?
fair.
Like,
That's a
you
fair
gotta-
rebuttal.
So
you know?
so let me. I can understand why not cooking for the right man is a thing, right? So let me just say, when I see my girlfriend cook, right, she's spicing garlic, right? Like she working in the kitchen, all for this meal. When she cooks, she's not just about I cooked and I put it on the plate.
That's
like,
it. It's a presentation.
She presents it.
Exactly. Me
right?
too.
So I can like the effort, the work that goes into cooking. If you are really cooking like that, right, for your man, like it's a lot, and you can't just be out here cooking for him.
For anybody.
Right. You right.
You cannot.
You can, and what you were talking
100%.
about, oh, you could cook for me and I could cook for you.
Mhm.
That's gonna happen at the latter of our dating stage where we're literally about to commit to each other.
I
Yeah.
also think it's expressive as well. Some people express, like my mom expresses her feelings and her care for people through
cooking.
right?
Mm.
So if I'm in a relationship with you and I can throw down, right, and you can throw down, babe, I got you, you know,
Mhm.
cook me a little meal. Yeah, I'm expressing that I want to do that for you, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords for me to make this. Now, at the same time, I could be submissive for you during certain things, like, you know, making love, or you're asking me to do something that I don't
Yeah.
really want to do. So yeah, for me, it's a difference. There's a big difference between like being submissive and doing a nice gesture like cooking for somebody you dating.
But
right?
also, you have to understand, you guys are talking from the perspective of being in relationships, and I'm talking from the perspective of dating.
I get it.
I cannot do this for these men.
So my feeling about that is you can't do that for everybody. You
Nah,
can't.
you absolutely you
can't
cannot.
do
I
that for
cannot, and I
everybody.
get called out on
But
it.
you also don't hold yourself back from certain things that can open up.
I understand that.
doors
Certain
to
people,
lead
I
to-
get that.
Right.
And I get called out like, oh, why you ain't ever cook for me? Da-da-da-da. No.
Yeah, especially if y'all not like that. Like,
No,
y'all
like,
not-
why would I cook? Oh, I'm sure you cook for other. Yeah, I have.
yeah.
But they've done certain things that made me feel comfortable enough to do that for
If,
them.
if y'all been consistent for like, all right, so let me ask you, if you messing with someone, right? Let's say y'all been consistent without having the actual commitment conversation. Let's say it's been like 4 months,
Mhm.
5 months, or whatever. At that 5-month mark, would you? But you know, let me cook for him. Let me show him what I could do.
I mean, I'm sure at that point we've already been at each other's homes.
right.
Intimacy already has taken place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more, susceptible to doing that
Okay.
because it feels like, okay, this is going to end up being my man. But I cannot do that for somebody I'm seeing for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Agreed.
I can't. And you know what's so crazy? There has been times, actually 2 times, where I have been challenged because, I don't like when people tell me I can't do something. And don't question my womanhood neither. Okay, the violence was coming out just there. Let me take it back.
See?
So I have cooked forcibly because it was by force, right? Because he asked me to do it because he was challenging me. And guess what?
He said you can't cook. So that's
The
fine.
meal didn't even come out that good because he forced me to do it. When I do it from my heart, oh
Gotcha.
God, you're gonna freaking run to the
Yeah.
mountains and tell everybody Myrna cook.
got you.
But if you force me, it's gonna be either too salty. I get mad at myself because I'm now trying to prove a point. I'm nervous
Right.
because he's literally putting me on audition.
Mm.
Let me do
Gotcha,
it
yeah.
naturally.
All right.
That makes sense.
Is that fair? You guys understood that perspective?
Well, we
Did
wind
you?
it. We
That's an amazing perspective that I think. So wait, so let's try to
To wrap it up there.
as we wrapping it up, right?
Mhm.
So in 2023, dating in your 40s, what's 2 pieces of advice you would give women?
This is a really good question.
Oh, wait. 2 pieces of advice you would give women dating in their 40s, and a piece of advice for younger women, right? Based
Lord.
on your shortcomings and things like that. How would you, if you can go back and be like, listen,
What would I do
Don't
different?
do this.
All right. Let's do that. Let's do that one because we
Okay,
we wanted to-
don't lead with the physical.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't want to go into all of that, but that will ruin you every time.
Mhm.
Be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you feel like it's gonna have the guy run away, if he runs away, he ain't for you.
There you go.
Because if he understands you and he really likes you, he'll be like, "Yo, we're human.
Mhm.
It's all good."
Right.
And last one,
Mhm.
it's cliche, but it's the truth, yo. Love yourself. The way you want a man to
Big
treat you,
facts.
be already treating yourself that way. So
Gotcha.
whatever he does is not like a big hoopla.
Big
You're
facts.
not impressed by that.
Right.
We love it.
Right.
Because you already been doing it for yourself.
All right, Mern. 2-minute wonder. What's next for Mern? What's next for you?
Oh, what's next for me? Well, I'm transitioning my blog into a vlog because I've been
Nice.
told that people like to see me and hear my voice.
Okay.
You guys will let me know later.
I'm sure they'll love it. I'm sure they'll
They'll
love it.
love it.
I'm a new nurse, so really embarking upon this career and traveling more with it.
Mhm.
I'm an independent, so I travel with my nursing, which
Okay.
I'm so thankful for to have the opportunity to do that. So it's more of that, more of the blogging, because I'm still going to write,
Mhm.
and just living my best life, traveling, retreating, and
Okay.
just loving on Myrna.
All right. So tell the
What's
people
up?
where they can find you at on social media.
Yes, so I am at beloved_dimples. that's my main page. I won't promote the Colorful Dreamer one just now because that one is still revamping itself. But @_beloved nipples on Instagram and on TikTok.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, we do have a sponsor, Tessier Collection, TESSIER Collection, where you can find beard products, lotion, scrub. We have stuff for the ladies. We have stuff for your hair. Nice stuff. Go check it out. That's one of our sponsors today. And Shakir, what's up, man? Close us out.
Yo, man, listen. No mistakes in life, right? No mistakes in life. Everyday people going to do everyday things, giving you our perspective. Hopefully you learned something today. Dating in your 40s it's a jungle. You know that song, Welcome to the Jungle?
Oh, yeah.
We got fun and games.
Yep, that's what it is.
That's dating.
Absolutely.
All right. So till next time, I'm Shakir B.
Let JBJ and our beautiful.
And I'm Myrna.
All right. See you next time.
No mistakes. Peace.
We out.